Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 8th of December 2020. You can see here the two best images of the day, but today we will discuss some questions related to the most important, very important and the only important section. So watch the video till the end. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box of this video. There is a link in the description box. You can directly click on that link and directly reach the subscription area. What you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily wise PDF. That is very important because you will get the two PDFs. One is the theoretical current affairs, one is the question and answer PDF. Second is the weekly PDF, all the current affairs arranged according to the week wise. Next is the weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself so that how much current affair you can retain on the weekly basis. That is very important. Next is the monthly PDF, and according to me it is the most important PDF because in the monthly PDF section you will get the 5 PDFs. In the first PDF you will get the theoretical current affairs of the month. Next is the question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain the current affair for long time period. Next is guys pocket PDF. As the name suggests, you can revise the current affair before your exam very quickly. Next section is the banking, finance and economy PDF. Very important for those aspirants who are preparing for the banking exam. And last but not the least is the question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs of the month will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain the current affair for long time period. And guys, this subscription comes at very minimal cost, and these current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English. And guys, if you visit the site or you go to the description box link, then you will definitely surprised to see the price. And guys, on that minimal price we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get the 10% extra discount. ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount. So let's start today's current affair, that is 8th of December 2020. And here is our first section. Now we have included three sections basically. One is the most important question, second is the very important question, and third one is the important section. So firstly, we are going to cover most important questions. So here is our first question in the most important section. What is the new name of Dandupur railway station which is situated in Uttar Pradesh? So mark under the most important section as we are covering the most important question. What is the new name of Dandupur railway station that is situated in Uttar Pradesh? And guys, the answer is very simple. The Ma Bairahi Devi Dham railway station. So remember the name Ma Bairahi Devi Dham railway station, or you can simply say Ma Bairahi railway station. Already Manduadi railway station is renamed as the Banaras railway station. Shri Siddharodha Swami railway station is basically the new name of the railway station of Hubli in Karnataka. And Mahadevappa Melara, that was recently changed again, the new railway station basically renamed as a Mahadevappa Melara from the Hevari railway station. So remember these names. I am repeating again. Ma Bairahi Devi railway station is a new name of Dandupur railway station. Manduadi railway station is basically a old name, but a new name is the Banaras railway station. Shri Siddharodha Swami, that is a new name again of the railway station of Hubali or the Hubli railway station in Karnataka. Mahadevappa Melara is the new name of a railway station, Haveri railway station of Karnataka. So remember these railway station names. These are the most important questions of the month. Remember this. So you can see here UP's Dandupur railway station to be renamed as Ma Bairahi Devi Dham railway station. You can also see here Yogi Adityanath, that is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, initiated the process to recognize the local religious and spiritual sites considering public aspirations. It means the local beliefs of the people will be recognized as a name of the railway station or any type of the name to the public buildings. The station is named after the Ma Bairahi Devi located in Paras Rampur village 6 kilometers from the railway station. The name of Mughalsarai Junction near Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh has been changed to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Junction. You have to remember this. Mughalsarai Mughal Sarai Junction near Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh has been changed to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Junction. Allahabad Junction has been renamed as Prayagraj Junction. I think all the students know this thing. Allahabad city renamed as the Prayagraj Ram Bagh, not the Prayagraj city. Prayagraj Ram Bagh. Allahabad Chowk or the Chowki has been renamed as Prayagraj Chowki. Prayag Ghat has been renamed as the Prayagraj Sangam. So these are the new names basically related to the UP. You have to remember these things. These are the most important things you have to remember. And Uttar Pradesh, very important national park is there. That is, all students know this, Dudhwa National Park. Remember which national park? Dudhwa National Park. And there is a very important tiger reserve, that is Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. Recently, this tiger reserve won the award of doubling the tigers. That is very important. Doubling the tigers in 4 years. At least the target was 10 years, but this tiger reserve doubled the tiger reserve in 4 years. Next, there is a Amangarh Tiger Reserve. You have to remember, Amangarh Tiger Reserve is also in the Uttar Pradesh. One is the Dudhwa National Park, or the Dudhwa Tiger Reserve is also there. So remember these things. These are very important related to the Uttar Pradesh. So guys, remember which I told you. Move to next question. A 2-day long passage exercise that is known as PASS-X 2020 between India and which country? Between India and which country? So two things are most important under this question. One is the name of the exercise, that is the PASS-X. Second, it was held between India and which country? So again, the answer is very simple. The answer is Russia. Remember the Russia. And remember one more important thing about this exercise, that this is a Navy exercise or the naval exercise. Remember this, because there is a one more exercise that is known as Indra. INDRA. Indra stands for India and RA stands for the Russia. Indra and the Russia. India and the Russia. It is also a Navy exercise. So don't confuse. There are two Navy exercises. One is the Indra. Second is the PASS-X. You have to remember both. You have to remember both. You can see in the picture passage exercise PASS-X between Russian Federation Navy and Indian Navy in the Eastern Indian Ocean region. You have to remember one more important thing, that in September 2020 there is also a named of exercise, that is PASS-X. You have to remember this PASS-X. Again, the name is same, but this exercise was in between Indian Navy and the Australian Navy. Indian Navy and the Australian Navy. And guys, you have to remember one more thing, that this name also given to the maritime exercise between India and Japan. So the exercise name is same, that is the PASS-X. It means passage exercise between India and Japan, India and Australia, and India and Russia. Remember these three countries because PASS-X is a common name of the naval exercise, because it is the named as the passing exercise or the passage exercise. So remember, between India and Japan, India and Australia, and India and Russia. And who is the Chief of Naval Staff? Admiral Karambir Singh. Admiral Karambir Singh. Remember this. This is again important. So what about Russia, guys? Russia's capital is Moscow. Currency is ruble. RUBLE, ruble, and president is Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin. Move to next question. Who is named as World Athlete of the Year male? Mark under the most important section. Who is named as the World Athlete of the Year? And guys, answer is Mondo Duplantis. Mark this answer and write this answer on your notebook, because this is the most important question of the day. Mondo Duplantis. You can see here. But you have to tell me one another name. Who is named as the World Athlete of the Year female? Who is named as the World Athlete of the Year female? Again, marked under the most important section, because recently the award was given, that is known as the World Athletes Award 2020, and one male and one female person awarded as the World Athlete of the Year 2020. And answer again is most important, Yulimar Rojas or Yulimar Rojos. Remember the name Yulimar Rojas. You can see here the picture of the two. That is Yulimar Rojos, and the second is the Armand Duplantis or the Mondo Duplantis. Mark the word Armand Mondo Duplantis. That is the full name. Full name. Mondo is basically a nickname. Armand Duplantis and Yulimar or the Ulimar Rojas. And one more important thing under this question, that these players belongs to which country? This Armand Duplantis belongs to Sweden. Sweden, mark under your notebook. And Zulimer Rojas or the Ulimer Rojas belongs to Venezuela in the South America. You can see here Mondo Duplantis of Sweden, who is 21 years old. Mark this line, very important. Who is 21-year-old is the youngest athlete ever to be named as World Athlete of the Year. It means till date, from the starting, he becomes the youngest player who achieved this title or award, that is the World Athlete of the Year. He is just 21-year-old. He is also the first Swedish man or woman who win this award. It means from Sweden side, he become the first man or the woman who won this type of the title or the award. Armand Mondo Duplantis is an American-born Swedish pole vaulter. Pole vaulter. Now, what is this game? Pole vaulting, also known as the pole jumping, in simple word it is known as pole jumping, is a track and field event in which an athlete uses a long and flexible pole using made from fiberglass or carbon fiber as an aid to jump over a bar. You can see in the picture, you can better understand this, that pole vaulting, also known as the pole jumping, is a track and field event in which an athlete uses a long and flexible pole using generally made from the fiberglass or the carbon fiber as an aid to jump over a bar, so that he can finish this race very easily. So this is the main task of the pole vaulter or the pole vaulting. This is the game of pole vaulting. So you can see here. So pole vaulting, you have to remember the player Mondo Duplantis belongs to which athlete game? That is pole vaulter. Remember this. And he belongs to Sweden. These two things are very important. Now, second player, triple jumper Zulimer Rojas of Venezuela as a female World Athlete of the Year at World Athlete Award 2020. And she is a triple jumper. Remember, she belongs to Venezuela. And the name of the lady or the person is the Zulimer Rojas. So this event is basically the long jump, similar to the long jump. Just remember, one player belongs to the triple jump, second player belongs to the pole vaulter. And remember the name, one player is the Armand Mondo Duplantis and second player is the Zulimer Rojas. And remember the name of the countries. So these two things are the most important things of the day. So mark under the most important section because we are doing the most important questions. Move to next question. Which Indian driver became the first Indian to win a Formula 2 race, not the Formula 1 race, it is the Formula 2 race during the 2020 Shakir Grand Prix. Shakir Grand Prix. Mark under the most important section. And guys, the answer is Zehan Daruwala. Remember the name of the person because he is the first Indian to win a Formula 2 racing. That is important word because it is not a Formula 1. What is the main difference between the Formula 2 and the Formula 1? Basically, Formula 2 cars are backed by a 500 horsepower engine, which is about half that of the Formula 1 vehicle. And they are superior racers and these are not inferior basically. They are, you can say, they can be shifted into the Formula 1. They can be shifted into the Formula 1 after some experience. And there are so many differences, but you can remember with the size of the engine. That F2 cars are backed by a 500 horsepower engine and which is about the half that of a Formula 1 vehicle. And who won this from Indian side? It is Zehan Daruwala. You have to remember this news and mark under the most important section, Zehan Daruwala. Move to next question. Who wrote the book titled Pioneer of Humanity? Maharishi Arvind. In Hindi it is known as the Manavta ke Praneta Maharishi Arvind. Most important book because it is written by our education minister. And the name of the education minister, all you know, and he is very good literaturist. So remember, he is very good in literature. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. Remember the name? Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. So mark my words and mark under the most important section. Remember the name of the book, Pioneer of Humanity. Because this book is related to the principles of the Aurobindo Ghosh, or you in simple words can say it conveys the Aurobindo Ghosh philosophy. And this book also portrays the thinking in a simple language to younger generation of the world. To portrays the thinking in a simple language to the younger generation of the world. The ideas of Maharishi Arvind, the name here is Maharishi Arvind. The ideas of Maharishi Arvind plays the role of catalyst to make the country a knowledge-based superpower. knowledge-based superpower. Remember this Maharishi Arvind and remember the name of the book, Pioneer of Humanity, and it is written by our Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji. Now you can see in the picture here that is Nishank ji here, and here is our President Ramnath Kovind ji, because Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji, that is our Union Education Minister, presented this first copy of this inspirational book, that is Pioneer of Humanity, to the President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. And it is the first copy which is presented by our Education Minister to our President Ramnath Kovind. You can see here the photo of Aurobindo Ghosh. You can also see the picture of Aurobindo Ghosh. So Aurobindo Ghosh, again, very famous personality and best known for his philosophy of human evolution and the integral yoga. He is also a founder of Aurobindo Ashram in the Pondicherry. So remember these two things, these are important. Move to next question. Which person named as 2020 Asians of the Year by the Straits Times? Asian of the Year by Straits Times. So remember this question, as this question I am telling you, Asians of the Year, and this Asian of the Year's basically list is released by the Straits Times, and it is Adar Poonawalla, the CEO of Serum Institute of India. Serum Institute of India headquarters is in Pune, Maharashtra. So remember who is the CEO? Adar Poonawalla, and he is the CEO of the Serum Institute of India, and the headquarters of Serum Institute of India is in Pune, Maharashtra. So guys, these are the most important questions which we discussed, and now we are moving to the very important questions. So here is the first question under the very important section. Which state launched Mera COVID Kendra to locate free COVID-19 test centers, so that it is very easy for the citizens of this state especially, so that they can do the COVID-19 test at free of cost. There will be no charges of the COVID-19 test. So by this app Mera COVID Kendra, you can freely locate this COVID-19 test, so that you can freely do the COVID-19 test. And this state is, guys, Uttar Pradesh. Remember, this is an initiative of which state? Uttar Pradesh. And Yogi Adityanath ji launched this type of the application that is known as Mera COVID Kendra. You can see here, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh launched a mobile application, Mera COVID Kendra or My COVID Center, to locate free COVID-19 testing centers in the state. The app was developed by the Department of Health and Family Welfare by default. The app is aimed to provide support to people to get information about the public and private testing lab located within 5 kilometers, because government allowed some private labs to do the COVID-19 test free of cost. So public is also doing, but private is also doing. The app will enable people to assess all the details related to the testing labs like map, center timing, test type and the others, because beyond COVID-19 there are some other tests which are also doing by the private and the public sector labs at free of cost. Uttar Pradesh became the first state to test more than 2 crore samples for COVID-19, because Uttar Pradesh has huge population. That's why Uttar Pradesh became the first state to test more than 2 crore samples for COVID-19. So this is the information regarding this app. So remember the name of the app, that is Mera COVID Kendra or the My COVID Center. Already I gave you so much information about the Uttar Pradesh that there are so many tiger reserves in Uttar Pradesh. One is the Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. I am repeating again. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. Recently, this Tiger Reserve won the award because this Tiger Reserve doubled the tiger population within 4 years. And next is the Amangarh Tiger Reserve. So remember these tiger reserves in the Uttar Pradesh. We repeated 2 times in a day. Move to next question. Which site of India recently included under significant concern by IUCN? Remember, IUCN organization is important. Second important thing under this question, the name of the site. These 2 things are very important under this question. So what is the full form of IUCN? Especially you have to know that International Union for Conservation of Nature. International Union for Conservation of Nature. Where is the headquarters of IUCN? IUCN headquarters is in Gland. Gland is in Switzerland. And which site I am talking about? I am talking about the Western Ghats. So now the question is, why IUCN included Western Ghats in the significant concern list? This is because of the so much urbanization in that area, It means the new road construction, broadening of existing roads, power production, urbanization, climate change, agriculture expansion. So many things are going on, which posing a threat to the site like the Western Ghats. As a report of the IUCN, 40% of the original forests have been already destroyed. This is the main concern. 40% of the original forest have already been destroyed. There is a need of functional corridors that assure wildlife movement between the protected areas. That's why this site comes under the significant concern. You can see here conservation outlook of Western Ghats, GRIM, and it is IUCN report. IUCN report. You can see here a term significant concern in a report means the value of the site is threatened by number of current or the potential threats. There is a requirement of additional conservation measure in order to keep the value of the site in a long term. I already told you 40% of the forest already been destroyed. It means there is a need of conservation measures. There is a need of conservation measure on the Western Ghats side. Indian Western Ghats inscribed by UNESCO in 2012 as a Natural World Heritage Site. You have to remember this. Western Ghats comes under the Natural World Heritage Site. Notably, Western Ghats are one of the world 8 hottest hotspots of the biological diversity. It is the out of world's 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversities. Other are also there, but the Western Ghats you have to remember. Others are, you can say that, Madagascar, Philippines, Sundaland, Brazil's Atlantic forest also there, Caribbean islands also there, Indo-Burma area also there. So there are so many areas, but you have to remember Western Ghats are one of the world 8 hottest hotspots of the biological diversity. The development of new road construction, I already told you why the area is threatened because of the urbanization. You can say because of the uneven urbanization. This is the main word because there is a climate change, agriculture expansion takes place. So it posing a threat to the site. So remember guys, the Western Ghats. And how many states comes under the Western Ghats? There are 5 states comes under the Western Ghats. Starting from the Gujarat. After Gujarat there is a Maharashtra. After Maharashtra there is Goa. After Goa there is Karnataka, and last is the Kerala. So there are 5 states on the Western Ghats and 4 on the Eastern Ghats. So there are 9 states belonging to the you can say the coastal area or the peninsular India. So I already covered this. IUCN headquarters in Gland, Switzerland. Moving to our next question, which bank started iMobile Pay app? So it is a very important question, but you can answer very conveniently because iMobile is a name of a app of ICCI. iMobile is a name of a app of ICCI. So you can basically easily mark the answer ICCI. iMobile Pay. ICICI Bank launches iMobile Pay, India's first app that offers payments and banking services for all. Banking services for all. You can see here, ICICI Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India Bank launched iMobile Pay app offering payments through this app and banking services for all. Customers of any bank can use this app. It doesn't mean that only ICICI Bank customers can use this type of app. That's why this becomes the first bank who are basically opening the bank's app to other bank customers also. Other banks customer also. It has all features of payment apps like scanning of QR code, that is quick response code, for making payments, sending money to any UPI ID, bank account, self instant transfer of money free of cost to any bank, payment app or the digital wallet. So, so much digitalization by the ICICI. And remember, ICICI is very important bank for you because ICICI headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. The tagline, again very important, Hum hai na, Khyal aapka. Hum hai na, Khyal aapka. And there is a virtual assistant named as iPal. Remember iPal or PAL. iPal, you can remember, it is the name of virtual assistant of ICICI. And who is the managing director and CEO? Sandeep Bakshi. Very easy, Sandeep Bakshi. So moving to our next question. Who won Formula 1 race during the 2020 Sakhir Grand Prix? Sakhir Grand Prix, very important question because the person who won the Formula 2, he was Indian, but we are talking about the Formula 1 race here and it is the name same Sakhir Grand Prix, and the answer is again very simple, Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez is the answer, and he belongs to which country? Mexico. Which country? Mexico. I think you persons are basically recalling that where is Lewis Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton is not basically participating under this racing and few racing which are going to held in future, because he tested corona positive, he tested COVID-19. That's why he's not participating in some races. So that's why the another person is here, Sergio Perez. So remember the name, because Lewis Hamilton is not there. Lewis Hamilton is not there. So this is very important news, because Lewis Hamilton is a very much renowned name for the students. That's why Lewis Hamilton is not the answer. Answer is Sergio Perez. Remember, and he belongs to which country? Mexico. You can see here, Sergio Perez wins Sakhir Grand Prix Formula 1 race, and Formula 2 won by the Indian Jehan Daruwala. Jehan Daruwala. Move to next question. Recently, Kanhar Gaon Wildlife Sanctuary was added in which state wildlife sanctuary list? Kanhar Gaon Wildlife Sanctuary was added in which state wildlife sanctuary list? So you have to tell me the name of the state. Name of the state. So tell me, recently this state approves 10 conservation reserves and 1 new wildlife sanctuary. Already this state has 49 wildlife sanctuary, and by the inclusion of this Kanhar Gaon Wildlife Sanctuary, total list becomes 50. That means total 50 wildlife sanctuaries comes under this state only, and the state is Maharashtra. State is Maharashtra. Remember, it is the most important state for India because of the financial capital of India, Maharashtra. You can see here, and you have to remember one more important thing, that about Tiger Reserve, Tadoba. Remember, Tadoba Tiger Reserve. Tadoba National Park is also there. Tadoba Tiger Reserve. Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Sanjay Gandhi National Park is also there in Maharashtra. Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. Sahyadri is the name of a mountain range. Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. Shyadari. Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. Remember, these things are very important. Even one more important stadium is there, Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Remember this. Move to next question. And guys, this is the very important section we covered. Now we are moving to the important questions. You can see here, who addressed IIT 2020 Global Summit? And mark under the important section, IIT stand for the Indian Institute of Technology. Indian Institute of Technology. And answer is very simple. Answer is none of the above. Answer is not there. Answer is Prime Minister Modi ji. Prime Minister Modi ji inaugurated this global summit, IIT Global Summit. The theme of this global summit is the future is now. The future is now. So remember, IIT 2020 Global Summit is addressed by Prime Minister Modi ji. You can see here on Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji at IIT 20 Global Summit on 4th December at 9:30 p.m. organized by Pan IIT USA. Pan IIT USA. This is a basically promote and enhance a common IIT brand for the IITs and its alumni in the USA, helping alumni achieve their professional and the personal goals in the USA. I am repeating again, what is the target of this organization? That is Pan IIT USA. Promote and enhance a common IIT brand for the IITs and its alumni in the USA, helping alumni to achieve their professional and the personal goals in the USA. So remember this, the name of the organization, Pan IIT USA. But don't remember this thing, just read this so that you can remember at the time of the options. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addressed the IIT 2020 Global Summit on the inaugural day of the summit. Government committed towards the principle of reform, perform and the transform. That we have to change some things and we have to perform on that platform and we have to transform the new generation. India's move to convert 44 union labor laws into the 4 union labor laws. It means they are combining the labor laws. One of the lowest corporate tax rates in the world. This is the target of the Indian government. Production linked incentive scheme to enhance exports and the manufacturing, so that maximum to maximum exports can be done and a new global currency can be emerged, because we have so much you can say the high exchange rate. So to reduce this type of the exchange rate, the Indian currency value can appreciate. That's why there is a need to enhance the exports. So there should be production linked incentive schemes to enhance the exports and the manufacturing. So this is the main initiative of the Prime Minister's speech, which is organized under the IIT 2020 Global Summit. Even under this summit, Union Minister of Education Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji also discussed about the new education policy of 2020. New education policy of 2020. So remember, it is not so much important. So just mark under the important section. Move to next question. Which company launched India's first diversified REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust Mutual Fund, namely International Real Estate Investment Trust Fund of the funds? Because this company is basically investing on the mutual funds related to the real estate. And answer is, guys, Kotak Mahindra. Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund, or the Asset Reconstruction Company, launched this type of the facility that is known as International Real Estate Investment Trust Fund of Funds, and they are investing on the mutual funds by this company Kotak Mahindra. You can see here, Kotak Mutual Fund launches India's first international REIT funds of funds. It means they are investing on the real estate. It is an open-ended mutual fund scheme that will invest in the units of SMAM, Asia's REIT sub-trust fund, to provide long-term capital appreciation and income. It means they are basically generating their income by investing on the another firm. It means on the another fund. The SMAM Asia REIT Sub-Trust Fund is one of the largest Asia Pacific REIT funds investing in listed REIT in the Asia Pacific region. It means this is already a investing company which are investing on the real estate mutual funds. So on under this company, Kotak Mahindra is investing under the mutual funds. So you have to just remember, they are investing the mutual funds related to the real estate. This is the main news, and it is Kotak Mahindra. Kotak Mahindra, or you can say Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company or Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund. This is the same thing. And where is the headquarters? That is in Mumbai. And who is the president and the managing director? Nilesh Shah. Nilesh Shah. He is currently the president and the managing director of the Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. So remember the real investment. Move to next question, and it is from picture. It is a day, that is Armed Forces Flag Day. Armed Forces Flag Day, that is celebrated on 7th of December 2020. So mark under the important section, because on 7th December 1949, the government of India celebrated first Armed Force Flag Day. First Armed Force Flag Day. And the government of India has decided that in December 2020 will be celebrated as Gaurav Mah. Gaurav Mah, that is the Pride month. Pride in English, it is known as the Gaurav. Pride month, to honor the contribution of armed forces and its veterans. So remember, which month is celebrated as the Pride month? That is December, because it is the Armed Forces Day flag. Armed Forces Flag Day, or the day flag. So it is on the 7th December, but most important question here is Pride month. Pride month is December 2020, because to honor the contribution of the armed forces and its veterans. Move to next question, and it is 2027 December again, that is International Civil Aviation Day. International Civil Aviation Day. Why this type of the day is celebrated is just to help and strengthen worldwide awareness about the importance of international civil aviation. Importance of international civil aviation to the social and economic development of the countries. Because this is the maximum advancement method of the trade, and to reach out a person, this is the best possible way. So that's why this is the day 7th of December celebrated as International Civil Aviation Day. What is the theme? Theme is not so much important of this day. Advancing innovation for a global aviation development, so that maximum to maximum development can take place in the you can say the civil aviation sector. International Civil Aviation Day theme for 2020 to 2023. This is not a 1 year theme. This is a 3 year theme. 2020 to 2023. Advancing innovation for global aviation development. Remember, this is very important. International Civil Aviation Day on the 7th of December 2020. There is an organization, basically International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. Headquarters is in Montreal, Canada. Montreal, Canada. Remember, ICAO headquarters is in Montreal, Canada. And total member countries are 193. 193 countries are member, including India. Move to our last section, that is one-liner important points. One-liner important point. First question is the Maharashtra approves 10 new conservation reserves and 1 new wildlife sanctuary. I already covered this question, that a new wildlife sanctuary is basically described by the Maharashtra, and total wildlife sanctuaries become 50. And what is the name of the new wildlife sanctuary? Kanhar Gaon in Maharashtra. Next, Japan's Hayabusa 2 brings rocket samples from asteroid Ryugu. So there are two important things. One is the Ryugu, second is the Hayabusa 2. Remember, this small capsule, a small capsule containing first rock samples from the beneath of the surface of asteroid Ryugu landed at South Australia. It was released by Japanese spacecraft Hayabusa 2, and the samples are very important because the samples are expected to provide clues regarding the origin of the solar system and life on our planet, that how this life existed before our birth and before our information. So remember this, these samples are very important. And this Hayabusa 2 is launched by the JAXA, that is the Japanese space company, and it was launched in 2014. So remember two things. One is it is launched by Japan, and the name of the carrier is the Hayabusa 2, and what is the name of the asteroid is the Ryugu. Third question is China launch Gaofen 14 Earth observation satellite from XXLC. So there is nothing to remember. Just remember the name of the satellite, Gaofen 14, and it is launched by China. Nothing important in this news. Next is United Nations CND removes cannabis from the most dangerous drug. From the most dangerous drug list, cannabis now removed. What is this CND? United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs. United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs recently removed the most dangerous drug list, and the drug named as the cannabis. It is removed now. You have to remember this. Next, government launched QRMP scheme for GST payers with turnover up to rupees 5 crore. So in simple word, you can say government launched quarterly return filing and monthly payment scheme for small taxpayers under GST system whose aggregate annual turnover of rupees up to 5 crore in the preceding financial year. They don't have to pay now GST on the monthly basis, or you can say they don't have to pay the GST on the bi-monthly pay. They have to just pay the monthly, quarterly GST report, not the monthly or the bi-monthly. Next is CBIC makes it compulsory to mention 8-digit HSN code in the GST invoice for 49 chemical based products. So in this news, 2 or 3 things are important. One is CBIC, second is 8-digit HSN number, and third is this 49 chemical based products. So first I am answering the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Custom. This is the main full form of CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and the Custom. Second is 8-digit HSN number. 8-digit HSN number stands for Harmonized System of Nomenclature. And second, this is applicable only for the 49 chemical based products. And recently CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customers, passed a rule to compulsorize this 8-digit HSN code for the 49 chemical based companies or the products, you can say. And who is the chairman of this CBIC? Chairman is M. Ajit Kumar. So remember these things. These are not so much important, but you can remember the CBIC chairman, M. Ajit Kumar. So one-liner important section which are more important. One is the one new wildlife sanctuary I already covered. Japan Hayabusa 2. This is related to Japan. Second, Gaofen 14. It is related to China. Second is the removal of most dangerous drug, that is cannabis. And there is a CBIC. These are most important one-word news. You can remember these 5 or 6 points. Now this is all for today, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel, and guys, press the bell button so that we can provide you the best material, and you can also receive the notification on time. And guys, provide 700 plus likes, because if you provide 700 plus likes, then it will give us motivation, and we can provide you different videos on the different content. And guys, it is a Fairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And thank you guys for watching this video. And it is my personal promise that if you're watching the videos regularly and if you're reading the current affairs from the PDFs, then your current affairs section will go strong, because 90% of the current affairs which are coming in exam are from our current affairs. This is very much important thing you have to know about this, that 90% questions which are coming in your exams covered by our experts and are by our team in the videos and as well as in the PDFs. So guys, watch the videos regularly and take care.